All right, hello guys. So before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to let you know that this week I'm currently enrolling for my 28-day Mountain Strong Ankle Challenge. Now, this challenge was released probably about 3 months ago. I launched this challenge to the hiking world. And I took my first batch of hikers through this particular challenge, guide them through this process, and really expose them to specific and tailored training to help support their ankles. And through the last time we ran this challenge in the 28 days, we really saw some fantastic results from our hikers. We saw people who were really feeling more confident on the terrain when it was more rugged, and they were absolutely stoked with that. We had some people who were really happy with the feedback and the coaching, and they just really enjoyed having some personalized programming to help them. And other people who just noticed that, look, they were feeling stronger, more resilient in their ankles on the trail. And I think all of these things are pretty significant to many hikers. So essentially this week I am doing another enrollment for this 28-day Mountain Strong Challenge. And I am looking for hikers who do struggle with regularly rolling or even spraining their ankles on the trail, or for hikers who do have recurring mild ankle discomfort while they're out hiking. Now, essentially this challenge is going to consist of 28 days of training, education and support to essentially get you on the right track towards strong, stable and resilient ankles on the trail. Now, I'm not saying in 28 days we're going to completely change your ankles, completely fix the issue and completely bulletproof you from rolled ankles or whatever it may be, because that's not super realistic in 28 days. But I am saying we can make a significant change in this time and definitely get you on the right track. So you'll know exactly what you need to do and where you need to continue on with to keep that moving forward on your own. So if you are sick of worrying about ankle sprains on the trail, if you've had enough of your ankles just giving you discomfort on long days of hiking, or you do have a particularly rough trail coming up and you want to give yourself the best chance of staying safe, then this could potentially be for you. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about this challenge and see if and how it may be right for you, just shoot me an email with the words "tell me more" to the email address rowan@summitstrength.com.au, and I'll leave a link in the show notes below. Just shoot me an email with the words "tell me more." From there, we can have a little bit of a chat, we can talk through things and really just see if and how this may be right for you and whether it will be able to help you with your ankles. So if you want to learn a little bit more, shoot me an email to rowan@summitstrength.com.au with the words "tell me more" and we can go from there. Now, without all that being said, now it is time to get into today's episode. And today's episode is a story about what's happened recently with my dad and my old man. And this is a story that I have sort of told many times before with other hikers and other situations. And it's something that's recently just come to the forefront of my mind because, my dad's gone through it. So essentially my old man, my dad, he's recently retired. He's not much of a hiker these days, but he loves walking. And recently he's retired and he's really got a whole bunch of extra time on his hands. And he's recently very much increased his walking distances. And he's, instead of doing an hour or an hour and a half in the mornings, now he's doing 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, really loving it, getting in there and really enjoying himself. But one thing that he has noticed is as he's been increasing his hiking distance, one of his knees is getting a bit uncomfortable. It's been sort of swelling up a little bit. It's getting a little bit dodgy and it's sort of been flaring up and it hasn't been super great for him. So essentially he saw this issue with his knee and he went down the local physio that he always sees, and the physio told him 2 things. Number 1, told him to reduce his walking and just say, look, you can just go back down to your 1 hour walk a day. And they also told him to go and do one exercise, repeat it for 30 repetitions and do that exercise 3 times a day. And just go out and keep on doing that for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. So that's what he did. He reduced his walking. He did this one exercise 3 times a day for 30 repetitions. And over time, over a couple of weeks, the knee settled. And it got a little bit more comfortable. It got a little, like the swelling went down and he was feeling pretty good. But then the issue was, he was like, you know what? I've got all this time. I want to get out walking. So he started ramping up his walking again. And guess what? The issue happened again. He still got the discomfort. It swelled up again. He went and saw the physio and went through the whole cycle again. And this was absolutely crazy to me when he was telling me this. Because first of all, this is what I do for a living, almost. I help people with their walking and their hiking with their knees. And I was like, Dad, why haven't you told this to me? We were just meeting up after lockdown. We hadn't seen each other in quite a long time. That could have been why, to be honest. But he was telling me the story and I was like, mate, come and see me. Let me help you. This is what I do. Because in all honesty, when it comes down to this stuff, those two bits of advice, they're not super, super, super helpful. Because with my dad's example of walking and a hiker who maybe listened to this example of hiking, telling someone just to reduce their hiking and reduce their walking, and that is a solution, it's not a great long-term solution. Yes, it may be relevant in the short term, but as a long-term thing, we want to get out and hike, we want to get out and walk, and that's not super practical just to limit our distances forever. And then number 2 is doing one single exercise. It's never going to fix anything. No matter what issue you're dealing with, whether it's ankles, knees, back, feet, whatever it may be, doing one exercise, it's very, very rarely going to stop this issue coming back. Because if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you'll know for every issue there's multiple muscles that can contribute to it. There's multiple factors like fitness, like mobility, like stress, which can contribute to these things. And just saying doing one exercise 3 times a day, every single day, it drives me mental. It drives me mental. And this is something that, so many hikers fall into, so many people have issues with, because I hear this story all the time. It's not just my dad, but it's hikers coming to me and they've been given clams 3 times a day, or squats 3 times a day, or lunges 3 times a day, or whatever it may be. And they're stuck in this cycle of getting out on the trail and then not being able to stay comfortable. I hear it all the time. So when we were chatting with our dad, when I was chatting with my dad and we had to sit down, I took him through a few simple assessments and, we sort of poked around a little bit and we're like, what is going on? And, we came up with a few ideas to sort of get him moving forward. Now, to be fair, my old man, he was not interested in doing a huge amount of training. And he's not interested in doing anything outrageously complicated. He's not interested in going to a gym or anything like that. He just wants something simple that could fit into his little morning routine. So what we did, we gave him 3 20-minute strength workouts. So to do 3 of these 1 time a week. So 3 sessions in a week. And instead of just doing one exercise, but we gave him about 4 exercises in each of these, which cover the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings, and the calves. The big guys are muscles that do quite a bit of work for supporting the knees. And we gave him some specific mobility work. Because when I went through the assessments with him, it was obvious his ankles were super tight, like ridiculously tight. And then also gave him some recommendations of, when the knee is getting a little bit tender, just to slow down his walking a little bit. He didn't have to reduce his walking so much, but just slow it down. Because I know my old man has a tendency, he loves power walking, he loves powering along, but he doesn't have a really good pace control. And so I said, look, when you're feeling it, just slow the walking down. That's going to take a little bit of pressure off. That's going to get you more comfortable. We'll see how you go. Now, none of that is complicated. 3 20-minute strength sessions, 2 sort of little stretching sessions to do in a week, which take about 10 minutes, and then just slowing down his walking. But he has been seeing some really decent changes. He's been doing it for about 5 weeks now. He's been able to keep up his walking distances. His knee hasn't been flaring up. Yes, it has been a little bit tender as he's done sort of bigger days, but it hasn't swollen up again. And he's getting better each week. He's feeling more confident with each week. And I've told him it's not going to expect till around about week 7, week 8 for him to really, really feel a dramatic difference, because it does take time to develop these things. But already he is feeling a bit of a difference in his strength, which is super, super positive. Now, the moral of the story here is obviously as a hiker, you may be a little bit different to my old man. You might be doing a little bit more than just doing a couple of walks a day. You might be going out for big days on the trail. You might be doing regular hiking through the week or whatever it may be. But essentially the moral of the story is if you have an issue, something pain-related, something that's causing discomfort on the trail, and if the advice you're getting is just to stop hiking or limit your hiking for the long term, and it's just to do one exercise and think that's going to get you better, in all honesty, I would strongly encourage you to maybe get a second opinion. Because yes, this may get you feeling good in the short term, but if you're looking to increase your hiking, if you're looking to get back out on challenging trails, you probably need a bit more than that. And I have no idea why these sort of recommendations still go around in 2021. It's absolutely mental to me, but it happens. So just know, if you feel like you're falling into that category, maybe seek a different opinion. And it may be the game changer for you. So, in this case of my dad, watch this space. Hopefully in another 4 weeks or so, we'll be able to see some really, really good results. And hopefully he'll be absolutely smashing it and the knees will be feeling good. But we'll wait and see. But I'm very, very confident that we're definitely on the right track with him. And if you're in a similar situation, I would be definitely confident to say you may want to do a little bit more than one single exercise multiple times a day. So that's probably enough from me on this story today. I hope it gives you a bit of an insight. I know I have sort of talked about this situation multiple times on this podcast before, but I thought it was really relevant considering, it happened with my old man just a little while ago and it's pretty forefront of my mind at the moment. So hopefully this is a little bit of a reminder. If you're in a similar situation, if you see a family member in a similar situation or whatever it may be, hopefully it's a little reminder to maybe look at some different alternatives. So with all that being said, before I go, as I said at the start of the episode, if you are a hiker who does struggle with some type of ankle issues, so if you're a hiker who struggles with recurring ankle sprains on the trail, if you get recurring ankle discomfort on longer days, or you're simply just stepping up into a particularly rough trail and you want to be confident that your ankles are going to be resilient and stable to stay safe in that situation, if you fall into any of those categories, this week I am looking for hikers who do fall into any of those categories to come and join me on my 28-day Mountain Strong Ankle Challenge. Now, this challenge is specifically designed for hikers with ankle issues and will essentially give you the introduction for the training, education, and support to really get your ankles feeling good, feeling strong, feeling stable, and resilient on the trail. The last batch of hikers who came through this saw some really fantastic results, and I'm really keen to get more hikers involved on this time around, spread this love, and make a genuine change to many, many hikers' ankles. So if that's you, if you want to learn a little bit more, what I'd like you to do is flick me an email to rowan@summitstrength.com.au with the words "tell me more." Now from there, we can have a little bit of a chat and really just see if and how this program and this challenge may be right for you, your situation, your ankles, and your upcoming hiking goals. So if you want to find out a little bit more, flick me an email to rowan@summitstrength.com.au with the words "tell me more," and we can take it from there. So thank you so much for listening today. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Hope you got a little bit out of it, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.